The Russian blue cat is believed to have originated in Archangel in Russia. It is what they term a natural breed. There is a folklore that said that they were hunted for their fur at one time. They were first shown as a show cat in shows in Britain in 1880. They were believed to have come from Russia over to Britain and then over to North America via merchant vessels. They're known to be in North America in about 1889. The Russian blue is a very people-oriented cat. It's a gentle cat, very quiet. They normally will not make much noise unless they want to be fed or they want your attention. They aren't necessarily a cat that will be all over you and bother you all the time, but they do like to be in the same room as you. For instance, if you're working on your computer and they're wanting to be petted and what have you, after you've put them down a couple of times, they'll go over onto a chair or whatever is comfortable closest to you, and then they will sit and watch what you're doing. Except when they're young and they play with one another. When they're playing, they will not be so concerned about being exactly the same room, but if you've been gone for too long, they will come and check to see where you are. You have them outside. Many things can happen outside to any cat, but a Russian, if he gets a surprise, may bolt and then not know exactly where he is. So they're better off as an indoor cat for that reason, but that's the only sort of idiosyncrasy that they have. They're very fast. I mean, if they move extremely fast. They're like greased lightning, as my husband would say. Most cats will travel fine if you train them from a young cat, and you do short trips to begin with in a cat carrier. I always recommend cat carrier only. Don't let your cats loose in a car. It's dangerous for them and it's dangerous for you if something sudden should happen. But if you start young, start with short trips and then do longer trips if you want to travel around. They can be leash trained. My daughter has one of my cats and it is leash trained to go out in the backyard. It's a very good family cat in that it is gentle. It likes to be with people. It's easy to take care of. It's got what they call a short double density coat, so it sheds very little. It will shed somewhat like all animals do at the end of winter. It's just a seasonal change that occurs. But basically a comb through their fur, clip their nails once a week, and they're a very low maintenance cat and therefore easy to look after. The Russian blues are not vocal. They will talk to you a little bit. Sometimes they will trill, but generally speaking they don't say too much to you unless, i.e., you've been too long getting the food down, or some of mine are trained that when it's bedtime, it's treat time, and if I don't get the treats out right away, I get a couple little chirps. But basically they're not a cat that talks all the time, no. They don't like surprises, although they do get along well with children. My preference for placing my cats is in a household where the children are a little bit older, 6 or older, unless I'm happy that the parents are supervising the younger children, because young children can be very tough on a cat. And I would venture to say just about any breeder would say the same thing. So they pretty well suit most people, but as I say, I don't like to place them with a family with very young children.